Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today my name is Usetale. On today's tutorial video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to cover your bra cups using your fabric and your lining. If it's a tutorial you're interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, these are the cups I'm going to be using for this tutorial and they are the size of my round bust measurement. Now to start this tutorial, the first thing I'm going to do is to make a dart at the middle here. So I'm just going to fold the cup into two like this. Then I'm going to make a notch just like that. Now I'm going to take the length of the dart. The dart is going to be 2 inches long, so you just mark it like this. I'm going to be taking out the dart. So from this notch that I made here, I'm going to measure 0.25 inch to one side just like this. Then I'll measure 0.25 inch to the other side as well, so making a total of half inch dart that I'm going to be taking. So I'm just going to connect it in form of a dart, just the way you see me doing. You can see what I have now. I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. Now that I'm done cutting, when I close it up, I'm going to have it looking like this. Can you see? Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and use my zigzag stitch to stitch it. So a situation whereby you don't have a zigzag stitch, you're going to fold your cup into to make a notch at the middle, and you're going to measure the length of the dart, which is 2 inches. You make a mark there. Then at the top here, you're going to measure 0.25 inch and make a mark. You're going to go ahead and sew your dart just like this, just the way we sew normal darts to fabric. So guys, this is what I had after I was done using my zigzag stitch to sew the darts to the cup. Okay, so now I have more room for my breast to sit perfectly. So that's the essence of creating that in your cup. Now I'm going to bring this piece of fabric here that I'm going to be using to cover up the cup. So I have it to be 11 inches wide and it is 9.5 inches long. So I just folded it into two like this. This is what I have. Now I'm going to fold it into two again, and I will use my chalk to mark the middle of it. Now after marking, at the top here, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches. Then I'll also take the same thing at the bottom here, 1.5 inches. I'm going to use my ruler to connect it to meet the middle mark that I made earlier. Then I will do the same thing here. Then after doing that, just use your free hand to make the curve to be curvy. We don't want it to be sharp. Now you take it to your sewing machine and sew it down. This is what I had after I was done sewing. I'm going to trim out the excess just the way you see me doing. After you are done trimming out the excess, now you fold it together into two like this. Then this other end here, you're just going to trim it out in a curvy way, so that you can have a fabric looking round like this. Now I'm going to go ahead to iron it out very well. So just open up the seam. So open up the seam like this. Then you're going to use your hot iron to iron it out. After you're done ironing, guys, this is what you're going to have it looking like. You can see I went ahead to do exactly the same thing to another fabric for the second cup, and the same thing to the lining pieces, just exactly the way I did the first one. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring my cups. I'm going to be placing it on the fabric. So you can either place it to be straight like this, You can see, or you decide to place it to be in a horizontal way, just like this. So whichever one you choose to use totally depends on what you want, but for my case I'll be placing it straight. So I'm just going to place my cup on my fabric like this. I will make sure that the middle of my cup is sitting directly at the middle of my fabric where I joined it. Then I'm going to use my pin to pin it down. After I'm done pinning the middle down, I'm also going to pin the top area here down. I will just make sure I follow the sewing on my fabric to make sure my cup is sitting straight. Then I'll pin it down, and at the end here, first of all, I'm going to fold my cup into two like this. Then I will make a notch at the middle. Now I'm going to place that middle notch with the area where I joined my fabric. Then I will pin it down. You see what I have now? I'm going to go ahead now to pin the cup round. So I'll just pin it down like this. So make sure that your fabric is straight while you are pinning it down. Can you see what I'm doing? So you're going to continue to do this until you are done pinning the cup round. So guys, this is what I had after I was done pinning. Now I'll go ahead and sew it round. Then I will do the exact same thing to the other cup. This is what I had after I was done sewing them round. You can see. So this is it. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim out all the excess fabric. After you are done trimming, guys, this is what you're going to have it looking like. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to use the lining piece to cover up the cup. To do that, I'm going to be placing the right side of my lining together with the right side of my cup, just like this. Then I'm going to arrange it in a way that it is sitting directly at the middle line, just like that. Then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew the top area there. Then I will do the exact same thing to the other cup. This is what I had after I was done sewing it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and trim out the excess. So now after trimming, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and make a top stitch on it. Then I will do the same thing to this one, trim out the excess. Then take it to the sewing machine and top stitch it. This is what I had after I was done top stitching. I don't know if you guys can see. So I top stitch it and I did the same thing here. Now when I use the lining piece to cover it up, you're going to see that the lining piece is showing at the top area here, and I don't want that to happen. So in order to eliminate that, I'm just going to push the lining piece inside like this. Then I will use my pin to pin it down. Can you see what I'm doing? So just make sure you push your lining piece inside. Make sure that your lining piece is not showing. Then you go ahead and pin it down all the way to the other end. So guys, after I was done pinning, you can see now the lining piece is no longer showing outside. So I'll take it to the sewing machine now and make a top stitch on it and do the same thing here. This is what I had after I was done making that top stitch. So this is what you're going to have it looking like. Now I'm going to use my hemming gum to gum the lining piece to the cup. To do that, I'm just going to place hemming gum inside of my cup like this. So make sure that you place hemming gum in all the areas of the cup, okay? Then after you are done doing that, you're going to go ahead and use the lining piece to cover it up. Then you use your hot iron to press it down. So guys, after you are done ironing, this is what you're going to have it looking like. Now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. I will just sew it round like that. This is what I had after I was done doing that, and I did the exact same thing to the other cup. So this is how to properly cover your cup with your fabric and your lining piece. So I went ahead to use the cup to make this beautiful corset crop top. In case you haven't seen the video of how I made this top, use the pop-up you are seeing on the screen right now to watch the video. Thank you so much guys for watching. Bye.